Alright, what's up, guys? So, this is going to be a little bit of a talk here about the Honda Navi. Um, as far as things that I have done to it, the Honda rear rack, Akrapovic exhaust, the mount for the exhaust is kind of janky here. I just have the one bolt in there, flip the mount around, have it held up that way. Got a GY6 pipe, 17 millimeter Nibby carb, got an aftermarket shock, just an Amazon special. The man in the box kit with a pipe that it comes with into a radiator hose, into the 17 millimeter Nibby, a DNA filter. I have a AutoZone special filter there for the breather, and I got the little cutoff cap for the rear breather. No major engine work done, just the jets and bigger carb. As far as anything else, that's it. Nothing's done to it. Obviously, the rear fender delete made the rear fender a little smaller, tucks up there, gets rid of that ugly ass tail that's on here. So we're gonna take a ride. We're gonna talk about it. Find this for your first bike, or figuring something out. If you want this for your first bike, or you already have one, you're looking to get another little piss around bike. So, obviously it's obnoxiously loud, but what we could talk about is seating position. Very, very upright. I'm 5'7". My feet are damn near under the handlebars. It's a very comfortable, maneuverable bike. One hand on the bar. There's nothing. You can flick this thing around like it's no one's business. Very light, very maneuverable. For those of you that don't know, it's an automatic, no clutch. That's a parking brake. You don't want to pull that. So all you have is the throttle, front brake, rear brake. On this particular bike, I prefer to use the foot brake a lot more. I have mine tightened up more than factory to where I can use the foot brake more. It's a light bike, doesn't need a lot of stopping power. You know, you're only going to be going 50, 55 on this thing, and that's about it. So the rear brake, hitting the rear brake, just putting pressure on it, slows down really nicely. It will lock up. I do lock it up just for little shits and giggles. Gas tank on this thing. That's one of the major things I love about this. I only have 1,197 miles on it. I probably put about 200 on my buddies. So, I mean, still relatively a brand new bike. I already messed with it. The clutch, the clutch and variator, clutch spring, that's all changed. I put all brand new stuff in it. The clutch has the 1,000 RPM springs in the clutch. I have the lightest rollers that you can get for it. Reason being, my area, there's a lot of hills. Acceleration is big. Top speed, I mean, as you can tell, I got all these turns up here, and top speed's really not even that usable. Even on the highway on a car, top speed's pointless in our area. So, went all straight for acceleration. Variate the big spring, the contra spring, that I do believe is the white spring. I can't remember. But I did throw the white one in there, and then the S23 clutch kit. Um, as far as performance for this thing, you ain't getting much. I mean, it's literally, it's stupid to work on them. The only thing that it is just like the Ruckus, except for the Ruckus is a motor swap usually. But with this thing, it's just fun to mess around with. It's just fun to piss around with this thing. And you aren't winning any races with this thing. I mean, wide open exhaust, EGR, the EGR system's lead. You got, I'm hitting 45 here, and there's no grade here. But I mean, this thing is fun as hell to ride. You will get yourself in trouble. I mean, you will see things like that growl and be like, yep, I'm going to go up that just like a dirt bike. We piss around with these. We take them on quad trails. We take them on Jeep trails. We just completely just mess with them. That's one thing, though, with this is the suspension for that kind of stuff. With my aftermarket spring, I thought I would make it better. This stock suspension sucks. I mean, the front end, you could literally be riding and just do this, just rock back and forth, and you can feel the front end bounce. And that's from factory. There's no stiffness in that front end at all. And that is messed up, all that grass right there. So, I mean, I'm even going up here just 45 miles an hour, just cruising. Not even going fast at all. This is actually where my first video, this is where I took the big bike, the Magna. This is where I learned to ride at, was on this road. I didn't learn in a parking lot. I never rode a street bike, a bike that can go on the street. Never rode one before a day in my life. Whenever I got this thing, this is the first place where I took it. I knew this path because we always took our cars on this path. Like, we always ride the same roads. So learning to ride a bike would be the safest in areas that you know. If you got a small little town like I do here, no traffic, you can just go out and practice, that's your best bet. There's no reason for you to just go to a parking lot and learn how to stop and start. You can do that on the street. I'm just using my middle finger right now to brake. That's it. Just a middle finger. The hardest thing for people to learn whenever they're riding and learning to ride is the lean and the takeoff on the lean. So whenever you're going to go turn and you're trying to start at a stop sign, that always gets people. How you have to lean over and turn at the same time while giving it gas, and also pay attention to all the other crap going on, like if there's a car flying up on you. That's where people drop their bike. That's where people mess up at. And this is a pretty steep hill, and I'm only pulling it at 30. I'm going to start slowing down up here. But I'm full. I'm wide open. There's nothing else left. This is the same path I took on my first video. Just screwing around. Just coming up here, it's real light and flexible. Like, fun. Fun as hell to ride. You'll get yourself in trouble because it is too damn fun. Now, as far as price goes, on the r/HondaNavi group, there's people talking $1,200 for a used one, all the way up to some people I've seen $3,800 for a brand new one. Well, a little backstory on this one. In my area, I have not one single Honda dealership anywhere close to me. The closest place that I went to, that I could go to, was 45 miles away. to get this. And, which was sad, is it was in another state. So I'm in Pennsylvania. I had to go all the way down to Maryland to actually get this Navi. What did that do for me? $3,500 after it was all said and done. From Maryland to me, then Pennsylvania. So I had to pay for 2 title transfers, which is dog shit. And that's what jumped my price up to $3,500. Most people don't know, but Honda will not finance under $2,500. So, what you'll usually see is the Honda Navi listed for $18,000, and you're like, oh, you got all these fees. They do that with cars. Yeah, they do. But those fees should not be almost $1,000 at all, if not over $1,000. You got a delivery fee. Hell, this thing's shipped in a box like most motorcycles. This thing's light as hell. I can pick this whole entire bike up myself, and I only weigh 145 pounds. I actually loaded this myself. Look at all the deer. I actually loaded this myself into my stepdad's and mom's Honda Odyssey minivan without the mirrors on, and got it home. I didn't have a truck, didn't have an SUV. I had a minivan to get this to the house. They're small bikes, but they're going to charge you $400, $500 for delivery, more than likely, if not like $200. But it's all just a crock of shit. Honestly, if you were going to buy one of these, go in the used market, buy one. They're easy to work on. It's a single-cylinder carbureted bike. If you pick this thing up, 1,000 miles, $1,500. That'd be a fair deal. The reason why people are wanting so much money is not because they got their use out of it and they want to keep it. It's because they want to get out from the finances they did because they're stupid. That's why you see Honda Navis on Facebook, $3,500 with 200 miles on it, because they realize it's literally a pit bike. That's all this thing is just a big pit bike. And then they go and they put it back up on the marketplace for what their payoff is, because they know they're already under, so they know they're not going to get any money out of it. But if you're just riding around town, I'm keeping this thing. I got a bigger bike. I'm looking at another big bike. I'm keeping this thing just to ride around town. The gas mileage is amazing. Even after all the carburetor and the exhaust, I'm still in my area with all the hills that I have maybe 75 to 80 miles per gallon on this thing. And it's only a 0.975. It's not a full gallon. Granted, and then probably about 0.1 of that is reserve. So you might be looking at like an 0.875 gallon fuel tank. That's not real big at all. That's smaller than a damn gas can you could buy at Walmart. And no, you think like, oh, well, I could fit a whole gallon in it then. No, you actually can't. There's a bar. Whenever you open up the fuel cap, there's a bar that goes across. That is your max fuel line. Anything over that will spill out automatically. It will spill out automatically, and you'll lose it. So there's a little drain that goes down to the ground. That's where all that fuel will go. Ask me how I know. But best thing is too with these, I see people take off their toolbox all the time, or their little cargo box. That's probably the best damn thing on this, is that box. I take it to Walmart, go grocery shopping. I can throw a couple things in there, feeling like, oh, well, hell, tonight I want to have steak. Don't have any steak at the house, run to Walmart, throw the steak in there, throw some vegetables in there, come back home. quick, easy, simple. Plus it's an automatic. So hell, you don't got to worry about shifting gears. Don't got to worry about anything. Just get on and go. Everyone's talking about also the maintenance on this thing. I was seeing people say 250 miles, 500 miles. Honda recommended is 500. 500 miles. You change the oil. Now I do have to recommend when you change the oil, go find scooter swap shop. Actually, should have them. Actually all my parts on here are from Scooter Swap Shop, not sponsored. All the parts on this bike are from Scooter Swap Shop. And they have a magnetic oil drain plug. So anything from the motor, any little metal shavings from the bearings, I don't even know if this has bearings in it. It might just be built into the carrier. Not short or I think that was a red squirrel back there. That's actually very interesting. I've not seen one of those in a long time. That was dead there on the road. There's a shit ton of deer back here. That's why I love the mountains. It's fun. It's amazing. It's quiet. You can dick around, not have to worry about anybody. But oil drain plug, definitely number one thing. Before you even do your first oil change, have that bitch on order. Like, don't even think twice about it. I think it's like $20 or something, or $15. Get it. It's needed. Why is it needed? Well, it helps catch all that sediment and everything, because this doesn't have an oil filter. It has nothing. So if any metal shavings or anything stupid gets in that oil that's metallic, not brass or aluminum, that's metal, it will catch it. It'll save your ass in the long run. As far as other mods, I'd say, whenever you get a chance, hand guards. Hand guards would be nice. Find a set, hand guards that clip onto the end. Maybe, definitely, I would say, the hand grips. Hand grips, the brush guards, hand protectors, needed, 100%. Definitely need those 100%. That's really about it for these. I mean, like I said, don't buy them used over $1,500 because they just want their money back. That's their fault. They screwed up. Pass it. Go into the next one. Don't pick one up that has been beat to shit either, or looks like it's been beat to shit. Yeah, they're cheap and easy to fix. They are very, very cheap. I've dropped this one, actually jumping it like a damn dirt bike. Broke this plastic housing off around it. The shipping cost me more than that piece of plastic around the headlight. That tells you how cheap these bikes are. Must need it. Definitely must need it. A seat. You need a seat on this thing because it is atrocious. It is the worst seat. I've felt dirt bikes that are more comfortable than this thing. Everyone says theirs is comfortable. I don't know where you got your seat from or who made your seat. But this thing is rock hard. There's maybe like a half inch of padding on my seat before I'm hitting hard. Like, there is nothing as bad as this. And this ride that I took right here, I've already went through about a quarter of a tank, all uphill. So it gives you an idea. Roughly a quarter of a tank going uphill. These are stock OEM tires. I'm at 1,200 miles now. They suck. They are atrocious. They are bad. Granted, I did ride this thing in the winter. Yeah, it was snow on the ground. I rode it in the winter. Stupid. Completely stupid. You're riding with your damn feet down, acting like skis almost the whole entire time. Speaking of feet being down, the rear pegs for the passenger on the back, right there, right down by the exhaust. Conveniently, it gets your feet back by your shoulders, and it feels so much better doing that. It's so much more comfortable, especially on a long ride. You put your feet back here. Oh, it's great. But another issue too is whenever you change your exhaust. I have this issue. My bike goes to the left. It tilts instantly to the left. Why? We got the big swing arm and transmission, belt, clutch, variator, everything. Everything for this bike is on your left side. That is a heavy piece of machinery right there, sticking on your left side. The exhaust for the Navi, if I'm not mistaken, was 11.5 pounds for the exhaust. Well, when you take that exhaust off, you go to a lightweight, very thin stainless pipe and a half-gutted muffler, like a dirt bike muffler. Yeah, you got all your weight on your left, so it like dives to the left really bad. So that's just something to look out for whenever you do decide to modify the exhaust, if you do. But you can hear what this thing sounds like just over the camera. That's with the silencer out. See if I can get a full speed. Yeah, there. A little bit of rev limiter. That's the thing too. This thing technically has no rev limiter. The CDI controls it. The CDI controls how many, basically how much sparks, how many sparks it can do. So the upgraded CDI, I think, puts it at like 10,500, like 10.5, and stock's like 9. So technically with this, no gears and a CDI limiting you. If you were to get an unrestricted CDI completely, you could basically go until the forward momentum of this thing stops. That's how the CVTs work. Yeah, you're going to top out because the belt can't go any further to spin any faster, but you will hit terminal velocity with it maybe 62, 65 miles an hour, and you're maxed out. Downhill, obviously, you're going to go faster, but you also risk that belt slipping off around the clutch and all that. And I got a bike coming up on me, so I'm going to pick it up a little bit. Now, if you do tuck on this thing, it makes it a little bit easier. Like I'm going 55 right now on a flat. That dude behind me is just like not even trying. So yeah, this little thing, I gotta be hauling ass here to keep up with people. This is why it's not good on the highway. This guy's gonna follow me. Yeah, don't take it on a highway. Do not. Just little back roads, little city streets and stuff. It's fine. Long trips, do not recommend at all. Now watch, this car in front of me is gonna go the speed limit. So I'm gonna be screwed going up this hill. I'm gonna let him know to pass me. Nice bike, older bike, smells like race gas, and it smells sexy. I'm looking at a 2005, 2004 CBR 600RR for my next bike. Might be a little stupid because, I got a 750 VF Magna, and this little guy, and that Magna is a different beast than this, and that CBR is going to be a different beast than that. That's another thing, too, that I wanted to mention. I upgraded from this to a VF 750 Magna. If you don't know what the Honda VF 750 Magna is, look it up on YouTube. They're basically a street cruiser. Probably about where that bike came from. Maybe that has to be like in the early 90s, so I'm going to say earlier than that, around maybe the 80s, 70s to 80s. The Magna has a V4 in it instead of a twin, and it's a street cruiser. It's a fast bike for what it is. So it's not a full-on crotch rocket, but it's a like a sport cruiser. Oh, that thing smells so damn good. Those older bikes, those unrestricted bikes, oh, they're so fucking amazing. There's a smell of raw gas. So beautiful. Oh, I gotta open up my damn face visor here. What year is that? That's a beautiful ass bike. That is a beautiful bike. That is a two-stroke. That is a two-stroke sport bike. That is fucking amazing. But I guarantee you it is atrocious to ride. That is actually pretty badass. No, there's that. Never seen one of those before, never heard of those. That's pretty cool. But the Navi, you either love it or you hate it. I have a love-hate. I love it because it's so fun. You can do whatever the hell you want with it, and it doesn't really matter. Like, that on a normal bike, you'd kill yourself. There's no way in hell you can do that on a normal bike going 50. But this thing's just so rock steady, solid, because of how light it is. It's amazing. Alright. See if we can get 55, because I'm going to see what we got going up this hill. It's a pretty steep hill. Like 57. And look how fast the speed drops as we go up this hill. Look at that. I'm hunched over too right now. Still trying to get it a little, every ounce of power I can get. Yeah. It looks like lights down here. I wonder what we got going on. Looks like a tow truck from this distance. But honestly, it's a good bike. Definitely a good beginner bike. Do not get a 600 or 1000 sport bike as a beginner bike. For the love of God, do not get one. You are completely stupid if you do. You are asking to die. That's it. Have people started out on them? Yeah. Do they have more discipline than you? Always think, fuck yes. Because you're going to get one of these days, you're going to sneeze or something, you're going to rack on that throttle. You're going to get hit by a bug, pull back on the throttle. You're going to get scared, forget to let off the gas, and slam on that front brake. And you're going to have all that power right then and there, or you're going to still have that power and not be able to stop. Do not get one of those as your first bike. A 250, a 300. I think what Kawasaki has that 400RR or whatever the hell it is, little 400cc. No, don't get that. Yeah, it's a good starting spot. Do not get it. After you actually have some riding experience, get it, because it's a 4-cylinder. It's a 4-cylinder that still has way more power than any 250 or 300. And if you go for a 250 or 300 sport bike, okay. If you're going to go with a cruiser or a touring bike as your first bike, remember, they weigh a lot. They weigh a lot. So, whenever you make turns and everything, it's a lot different than this. It's a heavy bitch dealing with cruisers and touring bikes. But you want to go 500cc and up. The Honda 250 Shadow. There's a reason why they call it a girl's bike. It don't go nowhere. This Navi is almost pretty damn close to a 250 Shadow. I mean, the 250 Shadow, you might be topping out at 70 on the highway, balls to the wall, hitting rev limiter on a stock Honda Shadow that doesn't have any carb work done to it, or an intake, or anything, or exhaust. They are so bad. But if you're looking for a town bike, that's perfect if you want to learn to shift gears. But as far as brand new beginner, I would highly recommend this. Even over a Grom, I don't get. It's either you're going to get this or you get a Grom. Do not go from this to a Grom. For the love of God, don't do that. I rode my buddies. They're dog shit. This is so much more fun. Yeah, those Grom guys have fun, and they look like they're having fun. Well, they might laugh at you when they find out this is an automatic and shit. But guess what? You ain't got to shift. You don't have to worry about that. You just ride this thing. Doesn't really matter. And I'll show you that bar real quick. And if you also didn't know, this right here, if you have a Navi, boop, right there. That, I hope I can show it on camera. That bar right there. This middle bar is your top off line. Cannot go past that. It is impossible. As far as the reserve and everything, I leave it pointing down. I don't know the damn difference. One's reserve, one's full. I just leave it. I just leave it as is. Also, yeah, that's fully down because it doesn't work. Because my carburetor has one built into it. Underneath here. If you ever have an issue with your starter, right here's the positive, right here's the negative. I do believe you could jump them. Not 100% sure, don't quote me on it. That's really about it. Kickstart. Oh, yeah, these do have a kickstart on them. for people that don't know. Battery can be completely dead. Put the bike in, put it in the on position. I give it a little jump. Right there it is. That's it. Fold it back up. Don't ride with it open. Don't touch it when the bike's on, or you're going to get kicked in the face with your own foot. This here, for me, is my idle controller. I do that just till the wheel spins. That's too much. Right there's good. That's perfect. The service stand is so beautiful. It's so nice on these things. You know, you got two kickstands. Your bike won't start if the kickstand's down. Service stand has to be down and it can start. Front drum, rear drum. Right here's your parking brake. Pulls the back. There's a lever on the back there that it pulls. Yeah. So that's the HondaNavi 22. Yeah, S23 is the clutch that's in it. So, hope you guys enjoy. Still, it's like 8 o'clock out here, and it's still freaking like 90 degrees. This is ridiculous in Pennsylvania. So, you guys have a good one. Thank you for watching. Please leave me any tips or anything in the description. And I'm hopefully going to start making more of these. I need any information you guys have, any tips, please give them my way. This is something I would actually like to do. Over the winter time, I'm going to have that thing more than likely tore apart. I got some things I got to do to it. Got to repaint some things. I got to take it back after that guy hit me. I got to take it down the garage and have them actually straighten the front end out fully. I did it all myself. It works. I can get to and from work. But I would like to have the insurance of it being perfectly fine. This thing, it's a dumpster fire. After I wrecked it running it like a dirt bike, I just decided, you know what, screw it. It's a piss around toy now. Take it back and forth to work sometimes. And just use it for grocery getter. Because obviously that, I don't feel like wearing a backpack. So, you guys have a good one. Thank you.